when Northern Nigeria is considering what candidate to vote, there are parameters they put in place. There's something they say, namu namune, our own is our own. That's what you should never forget that. Namu namune, ko banzane namune. Our own is our own. Even if he is useless, he is our own.
Let's come back in 2 weeks after the gubernatorial elections. Then tell me how strong Labour Party is. Tell me how strong Labour Party is in Lagos. Sure, you're saying Labour Party is good in Lagos. They cannot win Lagos. Lagos was given to them.
In places like Alaba, places like Festac, in places like Satellite Town, there were a lot of military guys, a lot of thugs working with military guys to ensure that people do not vote Labour Party. They ensure that they bully people. Like my mom was telling me that in our area, they said, oh, we can't count the votes, we can't do this, we can't do that, time is going, you guys, you need to move to another polling. She just said, you know what, I'm going to leave. That was after she had waited from like morning to 4 p.m. and they did not count their votes. And I'm sure that a lot of people there will want to vote Labour Party. So again, I am not surprised that Labour Party won. Don't forget that we had the NSAS. People died. And this happened in Lagos. So we are all tired of this whole Lagos trash. Imagine, I went to Nigeria last year and I was just looking at the place like nothing has changed. Nothing has. See that Apapa Road? When you go on that Apapa Road, there's still tankers there. The roads are still bad. Nothing is moving.
Yes, you would have been compromised. You have to get in bed with some people. To eat with the devil, you need a long spoon. You know, you just can't be like ruling Nigeria. There are some things you have to do.
So if Peter Obi starts playing the politics game, how are we sure that when he gets there, he's able to, because he would have committed himself to certain things. By the time he gets to that position, or by the time he knows how to play the game, it's going to be Tinubu 3.0, but Peter Obi ruling. Oh,
maybe we had a little too much faith in Nigeria. I think that is what is hurting us. Because if you look at it, Nigeria, what were we expecting? That it would be free and fair? Nigeria? No, I think we had a little too much faith in Nigeria.
Turn it up. I told you now. Please.
You are worse than me.
Another year is ending. Shey, you dey whine me.
Hello. Welcome to another episode of the Batter Box Podcast. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for following us on all our social media handles. We love you guys. And today we are here to kind of talk about the election, as well as what it is going on, what's going on in the state called Nigeria. As of the time of this recording, we do have a president-elect. We do want to congratulate him, and is the person of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, president-elect. So happy for him and the APC for the campaign they've waged. It was a very, very tough battle. So with that out of the way, I kind of wanted to get reactions from my panel of esteemed judges. Or when we back then, I don't even remember back then, they would do debates. You say, I greet you, my opponent, my this, my accurate timekeeper. I'm a panel of, it's Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairwoman, my opponent.
The problem is that you were too smart in school. That's why you still remember all these things. Or that's why you're trying to remember.
I actually was on a debate team, for real. Like, I always go on debates. At one time, we were like on LTV at one point, like my school. It was kind of a big deal. So here we go. So I'll let Adeola, since you kind of spoke up, you are chairwoman, then we have an accurate timekeeper and our impartial judges. The judges are impartial.
The truth of the matter is, I don't know what everybody was expecting. Tinubu was going to rig the election. I think that everybody had an idea that it was going to happen. We just thought that something different. I don't think anybody. I don't know. I don't think that people really, really had hopes that Peter Obi was going to win. because Tinubu was ready to die for this election. Did you see all the violence that he pulled? Like, we had videos, or I saw videos where his guys were telling people that if you don't vote for APC, don't do it here. They caught NYSC members doing rigging the elections. The guy went all out. I mean, even the Yoruba actual celebrities and all that, they are still dragging themselves. MC Oluoma and all that, the lady that her face was butchered. He went all out to ensure that he will rig and win the election. And for me, I am not surprised because I expected him to do all this and more. And even though they are saying that they're going to do a rerun, or people are calling for a new election or recount or anything like that, I don't think it's going to make a difference. I think that if we push it too much, or if they push it too much, violence will break out in certain places like Lagos, like places where he has his thugs and where he can really put his strong foot down. But I wasn't expecting, this is like, okay, fine. I wasn't expecting Peter Obi to win. Obviously, I know who I wanted to win, but I did not think that my guy was going to win. He just did not have... Oh, okay, I'm talking too much. Let somebody else talk.
Oh, no, you're fine. Yes, I mean, you're fine. Yeah, you can finish your thought, though.
I just did not expect that my person will win, because I knew that Tinubu was going to do everything within his means and powers to ensure that he will win. And that's what he did. Is the election rigged? In my opinion, definitely. Yes, 100%. Was I expecting that he was going to rig the election? Yes, definitely 100%. Was I hoping that somebody else would win the election? Somebody else that is not Atiku? Yes, I hoped and I prayed. But then, of course, Tinubu has done what Tinubu knows how to do best, which is bully everybody and take things by force, things that do not belong to him, like our presidency. Yeah. That's what I think.
Yeah, no, thank you for that. So I wanted to hear from, I don't know, what are your thoughts? I mean, what do you think? You were there, you voted. What was your experience like going to the ballot station? And what part of Lagos were you in? And what did you experience? You are pretty much a first-hand observer.
Well, hello everybody.
Hello,
Well,
man.
the election, my end was smooth. Like I earlier said, it was smooth, and we all were hoping that Peter Obi should win because he had more promises, and he's a fresh blood. So he has a track record of his excellence, and he's also a youth. So we're also in support of him that he was going to win the election. But like Adiola said, it's one thing for you to hope about something, it's another thing for you to actually see the result. The only way Tinubu could have won is through rigging, because we are all done with their same lifestyle. It's like a reputation. APC, they're always doing the same thing. APC, PDP, they're like brothers, the same mother but just different bodies. They are the same people, and they believe that these people, there's a beef between them. I don't even think it's real. I just think everything has been sold out to us to make us believe that these guys are actually opponents. They're just friends. That's why it's very easy for Atiku to say, I'm done with PDP, I'm going to APC. I'm done with APC, I'm going to PDP. They're just brothers, siblings. And like I said, we all wanted Obi to win, but it didn't play out the way we desired of it to play out. And sincerely, I'm not happy with the results. In fact, I don't even want to talk about it. I'm not happy. But deep down, I just know that there's still hope for Nigeria. And I know also that God doesn't sleep on our matter. So if this has happened, it didn't happen out of God's ignorance or unawareness. Everything is still controlled by God. And I believe that God is still cooking something. So I don't want to give up on Nigeria. I don't want to give up on myself. I don't want to give up on Nigerians. There's still hope for the country. Thank you.
Wow, no, thank you for that.
I do pray that Tinubu enjoys his stay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, thank you so much for that. Yeah, so I don't know, Judith, out there, how was it in Abuja? How are things going? Actually not Abuja, take that back. How was it in the north where you voted at?
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Well, here, let me just put it, I'm in Kaduna, and the situation in Kaduna was really calm. In fact,
okay.
Surprisingly, this is the first time that elections have been this calm. There was no form of violence or anything here. We just went out, we voted, and we went back home. Everything was, by evening, people were already going out and, hanging out. Everything was very calm here. Well, about everything going on, I'm still in my feelings, honestly. I'm still in my feelings. As much as I try to bring down my expectations so that I don't get disappointed before the elections, I still feel very hurt to a large extent. Well, maybe we had a little too much faith in Nigeria. I think that is what is hurting us. Because if you look at it, Nigeria, what were we expecting? That it would be free and fair? Nigeria? No, I think we had a little too much faith in Nigeria. However, I think we knew that they would not let this go just like that. But we were hoping that something different will happen. We were hoping they were going to give us a chance to choose. For me, I don't mind Tinubu winning as long as the elections were free and fair. But obviously they are not. If Nigerians decide to choose Tinubu, then it's fine. But you cannot force down a candidate down our throats. You can't force your opinions it's just crazy. I think there's the turmoil of emotions going on. I've never seen Nigeria this downcast after a winner, a presidential winner was announced. Everywhere still seems like someone just died.
Oh, you mean the mood around just going out?
The mood is so gloomy.
Yeah. Oh no, that's not good.
It seems like it feels like when Yaradua's death was announced.
Oh,
that's what it feels like.
Oh, wow.
So who are the people that voted the Tinubu then? If nobody seems to be happy. Honestly.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
The guy voted himself in. He ensured.
Maybe he brought witches and wizards from wherever to vote him, because I don't think it's Nigerians that voted him. This man, let's even talk about INEC. Just imagine the amount that was budgeted for this election.
355 billion naira.
Billion.
Yeah.
For God's sake.
Like $800 million.
Part of that money,
almost $1 billion.
Part of that money went into Tinubu winning the elections, just so that just to make it clear, because we had situations whereby in some polling units they left their stuff, they left their batteries, they left like you see the pictures online, they left a lot of things. So if you guys, what plans did you have for these things? Were you not going to try to resell them or keep them or something?
Right, you mean the equipment?
Yeah, the equipment. There is an article online, 10 ways for
BVAS, what do you call it? BVAS.
Yeah. BVA? What?
Yeah. I think it's called a bimodal voting accreditation system.
They left them in some polling units. There is an article online, 10 ways politicians rig elections in Nigeria. It's very interesting. So if you read this article, you see that Tinubu and INEC, they worked together, because every point, back to back, you see that's what they did. Like, this was their agenda. It's a short, interesting article, but it shows that it was well mapped out. Like, they had military presence in Lagos to oppress people, not to come out to vote. But everybody still came out. And I'm happy that Labour Party still won Lagos. It just goes to show that I'm very interested in the...
I'm sorry. I'm going to interrupt you there because I'll bust your bubbles.
Oh, okay.
There's a theory that Lagos was not actually won by Labour Party. There's a theory out there that Lagos was given to them. Lagos was given to Labour Party as a strategic move. So that way, if you notice, Lagos and Abuja was won by Labour Party.
Lagos, Abuja,
Lagos, Abuja,
and Kaduna.
Kano was won by Kwakwanso. Kaduna was won by Atiku. So there's a theory out there that basically they just give those hot points to the opponent, so that way, if you notice, Katsina was not won by APC. That's Buhari's house. So again, I'm not, these just things going around on the internet.
I don't think it was given. I don't think
that's
it
what
was
some
given.
people are
It was more like
was given. Go ahead.
What I believe is Labour Party must have won, but they tried to. They rigged it so that.
How can Lagos? Sorry, how can Labour Party win by 10,000? Are you kidding me?
The truth of the
10,000
matter is
What they did was to
End-start
augment their
happened.
own values, but they did not allow themselves win because it was so obvious that Labour Party was going to win Lagos. For God's sake, Lagosians are tired.
Hold on.
Lagosians are tired of the system.
Sorry, let's come back in 2 weeks after the gubernatorial elections. Then tell me how strong
Which is
Labour
going
Party
to also be rigged.
Tell me how
which is
strong
also going
Labour
to be
Party
rigged.
is in Lagos. Sure, you're saying Labour Party is good in Lagos. They
If
cannot
the
win
vote-
Lagos. Lagos was given to them.
It wasn't
Which is also going to be rigged.
It's going to be rigged.
Gubernatorial elections.
I know it will be
Heavily
rigged, but there's a theory out there though that Lagos was given to Peter Obi just to silence the masses.
Nobody
Same
was
as
giving
FCT.
anything.
So you think
Tinubu
people
does not
actually
give-
voted?
Tinubu does not give anything. And let me tell you something. One of Tinubu's main strong
Tinubu that would
yeah.
want to even prove a point.
is MC Oluomo. So if anything, MC Oluomo would have wanted to deliver Lagos to Tinubu. So the fact that LP won, Lagos Labour Party won, is because there were a lot of celebrities in Lagos that stood.
I know, but how can they win by 10,000 though? That doesn't make sense. That
Because
they won by
people are
10,000.
tired.
10,000. Do you know what 10,000 is?
Imagine was
They
more.
won by like 1 million, not 10,000.
Yes, exactly.
If they really
Imagine
won,
was
if you're
a
saying
lot
they
more.
won, they couldn't have won by 10,000. It was like it has to be more than 10,000. 10,000 is nothing compared to Lagos states. 10,000 is nothing.
You know what's going to happen.
I mean, Lagos
during
has
the-
like 1.2 million, votes.
Let's
now.
not also forget that they went to Labour Party strongholds and they terrorized people out of voting. They stole ballot boxes.
Yeah.
They beat up people. Some people had to run for their lives.
So
And they didn't do that in APC strongholds. They went to Labour Party strongholds. They went there and they were warning people, if you know you're not going to vote APC, just go home. We had videos. We've seen these videos. So imagine it was even fair and fair.
in places like Alaba, places like Festac, in places like Satellite Town, there were a lot of military guys, a lot of thugs working with military guys to ensure that people do not vote Labour Party. So everywhere that Labour Party would have really won the Lagos State this thing, they ensure that they bully people. Like my mom was telling me that in our area, they said, oh, we can't count the votes, we can't do this, we can't do that, time is going, you guys, you need to move to another polling. She just said, you know what, I'm going to leave. That was after she had waited from like morning to 4 p.m. and they did not count their votes. And I'm sure that a lot of people there who want to vote Labour Party. So again, I am not surprised that Labour Party won. Don't forget that we had the NSAS. People died. And this happened in Lagos. So we are all tired of this whole Lagos trash. Imagine, I went to Nigeria last year and I was just looking at the place like nothing has changed. Nothing has see that Apapa Road. When you go on that Apapa Road, there's still tankers there. The roads are still bad.
Yeah,
Nothing
littering.
is
They're
moving.
littering the place. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, when you say that Tinubu came to do good stuff, Tinubu came to do stuff, it's as if the two governors after Tinubu, they've gone out of their way to ensure that no progress has happened. Do you get what I mean? So when Labour Party is winning Lagos, I'm not surprised at all. Lagosians are tired. Not even Lagosians, anybody living in Lagos, they are tired. I do not think that Labour Party is going to win the governor's election, only because I know that Tinubu will come out to show out with his boys and rig the election. Not because I do not think that people will not vote for Labour Party, for the guy to become the governor. But Tinubu is definitely going to rig the election again. Hopefully, maybe when they go to court, he will let it go. But you see this one going to court and all that. No, he's still going to when he gets
Yeah,
there,
but
he's
court, this
driving
court you are
to-
even talking, the court in Lagos State, we put up most of those guys there now. All those
Exactly.
courts, they are all
They're
appointed
still
by
the
him.
ones that are there.
Yeah, now there's people. It's like once you're
Hey.
once you're a governor, you can appoint some state judges, and
You
it's
see
kind
that
of like
we
why
don't-
even going to court? It makes no
we
sense.
don't have hope.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
We will not give up.
Yeah,
We
I
will
don't
not
know
go.
why court you go to, because this is not the same court that Buhari was saying is like for the Naira notes, the court said they needed more time, and then Buhari was like, not the court. Like, what does court knows? So is it that same court you are going to when Buhari himself doesn't even respect the court?
How many times has the APC even refused to listen to court orders? How many times?
It's just
Exactly.
sad.
There was one that came out though recently with Atiku and what's his name, and what's not that lawyer? He's a lawyer, he's an human writer. Was Festus Keyamo. So Festus Keyamo, I don't know if you guys saw that. It came out like 2 weeks before the election. I was saying that Atiku must be arrested, and they're just like, "What's this guy talking about?" And he went to the courts, but they just brushed him with like courts. I honestly don't have hope in the court system. I'm sorry.
I don't think it's the court that you should blame. I believe some people they've just taken themselves above the court. And if you as a judge or you as a lawyer, you take money, obviously you have no voice anymore. Someone was also saying something yesterday that when it's time for us to strike, we have these professors clamoring that they want increase in their salaries.
No,
But were they not the same people that were used to read out or spell out the result? So it's like everybody's just interwoven. You want something, but at the same time, if they give you small tip, you shut up. You have no voice anymore. So it gives them no right actually to say Atiku should be arrested or this person should be this, that person should be that. It doesn't give them right. Even when you say someone should be locked up, someone was explaining to me that what if you tell a politician to be locked up, sentenced somewhere, that some of these politicians, they're actually chilling in a room with AC. That I know, sir.
Yes.
I don't know how true
Yeah,
this
very
is,
true.
but I know
It is
that I'm not
very
serving it. Like, it's really painful. The government doesn't work. The judiciary doesn't work. So what precisely is working in the country?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of those guys are actually friends. All these politicians, most of them are friends. They know each other. They
They
love
wine
each
and
other.
dine together.
They wine and other. So people should not just go and be killing themselves. Like, just don't riot. Just be at peace. Be calm. Wait for 4 more years. It's fine.
And then
The
try
world
again,
does
and
not
then they will
end.
rig the election again. So when is the cycle going to end? That's
No,
my
they won't
Wow.
rig the election. Winning Nigerian election is not yam and beans. It's not. And I think if again, I'm not in Nigeria and I didn't vote. The last time I voted was in the 90s. So what I'm just trying to say is it no concern me. So you obedient people don't come attack me. So that's my disclaimer. What I'm just saying is that Obi made some mistakes. So with that disclaimer, I think he made some mistakes. The mistake he made was that he should have canvassed more for those northern governors. He should have tried. Wike was not happy. He should have tried and courted Wike. I know, I'm not saying maybe he did. I don't know. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. But I just think winning Nigerian elections is not yam and beans. It's not just by going on the internet and riling people. It was here in the US now, It's not by going to the US or going to the UK. People in US can't vote. People in UK can't vote. It's people in Nigeria. There are places they need to go in northern Nigeria, northeastern Nigeria. You just can't give up and say, I'm not, because that place is in north is not my place. There are some states he didn't go to. I haven't heard, was it Ekiti that he did not even go to? I think somebody, I can be wrong, but I heard maybe he didn't go to Ekiti. So there are places winning election in Nigeria is not yam and beans. It took Buhari 3 times before he can get in. Atiku has been trying, even though allegedly he doesn't even live in Nigeria. He's not a resident of Nigeria, but he got 2nd place, allegedly. So point is, I don't know. Winning election is not just easy. Internet, I'm here, I can talk all I want on the internet or on podcast, whatever. I can't vote. Some of us on these calls, we can't vote. We can just say anything we want. We can't vote. I'm not even in the country. So people should you guys are there, let peace reign. I think your voice have been heard. I give Obi a lot of credit. He's made an impact. And sometimes, success comes in steps. They come in leaps, rather. So you don't just become president overnight. He's still fairly young, too. So he's got time. Everybody should just come. And I like what Judy said earlier. Like, it's like somebody just died. I like that because that means there's peace in the country. We want peace, we want stability, we want our democracy to continue. So I guess all I'm saying is people should be calming down. Like, I think Obi made some mistakes. I think he could have tried to go to all the other parts of Nigeria. He could have canvassed a lot of governors. There are many governors all the APC governors that they're not happy with APC. They want the lights. Some governors actually want to do well. I know some of you are like, what's this guy talking about? But yeah, some people, when light comes and that light is bright, darkness can't stand. But they don't have any party to go to. So I think next time you should work on getting more people on the side. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, first, you said he's still young. I think you think he's still young because we are used to ancient of age presidents. He's not too young. He's just right. That's one.
No, he's 61 years old. He's young. I mean, Joe Biden.
Because we are used to old presidents. That's why
Joe Biden is 80 now.
He's just right. Then you were talking about him canvassing northern governors.
Yeah.
I need you to know that politics in Nigeria, or rather northern Nigeria, is beyond going to meet the governor. You should know that.
Why is that? Are the governors not the one that deliver states? I thought governors are not that deliver states. Go ahead, yeah.
When northern Nigeria is considering what candidate to vote, there are parameters they put in place. First and foremost, there's something they say, namu namu ne, our own is our own. That's what you should never forget that. Namu namu ne, ko banzani namu ne. Our own is our own. Even if he is useless, he's our own. Exactly.
I like that.
That's one. And then secondly, but then again, for the first time, we've seen like educated people down north here. Not even, in fact, the average northerner is tired of the APC, tired of everything that has been going on. But Peter Obi tried to infiltrate northern Nigeria, but there was resistance. He encountered resistance. He cannot force himself. If a governor says you're not coming into my state, you cannot. There's nothing you can do about it.
If they don't welcome him and give him security protection, there are some things. Yeah, you have.
For example, Wike, I think he withdrew his landing clearance or something when he was supposed to go to River State. So a governor can actually do that in Nigeria, and there's nothing you can do because he doesn't have powers yet to go to those parts. However, maybe there were things he would have done better. I'm sure there were things he would have done better. But I want us to give credit to this man.
Oh, no, I'm giving him credit, actually.
Yes, right?
Again, sorry.
Then another candidate that I think we are underestimating rather, is Atiku. That guy, he played by the books. He's one candidate that played by the books. He did his best. He tried. No, in fact, even when the results were announced, he has taken it and he's not talking too much. He tried to make peace with Wike and other governors other people that fell out of the PDP. He played that by the books. Well, I guess it's not his luck. I guess so. But then.
Yeah, the point I was actually going to make while you were saying that is that to win, again, same thing I made it, like to win an election in Nigeria, you need a lot more than just mobilizing the youths. There are some powers that be. There are a lot of powers that be, and I don't know if you guys remember a few years ago, there was one of the, God, I could be quoting this wrong, like an Oba in Lagos that said all the Igbos, they don't vote for this guy. They should all go and jump in a lagoon. So
exactly. Even down here, you hear things like an Igbo man can never be the president of Nigeria because they're going to sell us, or they are going to carry out their what's the name? What's this thing that the Igbos were fighting for?
Is it Biafra?
In fact, some people don't even know what Biafra is. It is Igbos wanting a separation. They want to be a nation. You said they cannot vote, they cannot be president. Then allow them go. You have not allowed them go. Yet you say they can never be I don't even understand it.
Yeah, I believe that I don't want to talk too much about US politics, but there are people like this in the US because US is where democracy starts. So for the audience, there's somebody called what's the name? Beto O'Rourke of Texas. There's also another lady called Stacey Abrams, who I think she was in Nigeria during this like presidential election, part of the peacekeeping. These are guys who they remind me of Peter Obi. They are people that the people love them, the crowd loves them. So Stacey Abrams, a black woman who is trying to win, I think it's in Georgia, the gubernatorial election in Georgia, against a guy called Brian Kemp. I mean, she fought so hard. People love her. People were rooting for her. The guy she was fighting against was Secretary of State. So in the US, Secretary of State is the one controlling the ballot, the election. So the Secretary of State that is the guy doing the election, is the head of the election. Imagine you fighting against him. So it was so clear. There was a lot of stuff. The guy did not recruit himself. Normally, when you are Secretary of State, you are counting the election, basically. But you are running against. So this lady, Stacey Abrams, was running against Secretary of State, Brian Kemp, and she ended up losing, like, bitterly. Even though everybody knows this is the head of democracy, but there are some certain things whereby, if you look at the US politics, you learn a lot. There are some things you can't, even though they are like the head of the political nation in the world, or democracy, whatever, but she still lost. The last election again, she lost again. And this is a lady, her story is very unique, just like Peter Obi in a way. She's like her parents, she was on the school bus, segregation. People came out and voted, but she had a mass campaign. Still, she lost. And that guy, Beto O'Rourke in Texas, against Ted Cruz, senator from Texas. Again, whereby you see light and you see darkness. These guys for corporate interests, is for greed, is for Wall Street. This one is for the common man. But when you have infrastructure in place, you just cannot come from nowhere and just be like, I have the people behind me, the will of the people. The will of people does not work even here in America. Forget that thing. The will of people does not always work. You need to know what's going on. You need to know the political parties. You need to have your PAC. Then you need to have all these lobbyists. There are a lot of things we can learn from the US, which I think Peter Obi and his team should go back and kind of do the strategy. That's the game Tinubu was playing 8 years ago. Peter Obi was then like still trying to say, am I going with Atiku or not, or whatever. So it's like a long shot. You just need to, you want to be president of Nigeria, like I said, it's not yam and beans. You're not just going to wake up and say, I have the youth, I have this, I have that. Tinubu has been playing all this. A lot of those governors in the north, Tinubu he sponsored their campaign, like all those northern governors. Some of them, he sponsored their campaign, gave them money, he believes them. There was this bombing in Kano. He put a lot of money. I think he gave 50 million naira, just like donation. He's done so much. And as Judy said, I don't know, Judy, what did you call it? What did you say? Our own is our own. How do you say that?
Namuni.
Yeah, namuni, whatever. So that's like real. So Tinubu is theirs. And so one more thing I will say now, let you guys think about. When Lagos was called for Peter Obi, which again, like I said, some people don't believe he really won. They just wanted to do that just to quiet everybody. When Lagos was called for him, Tinubu came out and Tinubu said, you guys should relax, don't disturb yourself, Why would he say that? You guys think about it. Like, if I'm running an election and I didn't win, why would I be so calm? That calm he had, he was just like, everybody cool down, don't worry. Like, it's like a long shot. We, the youth and a lot of the people from Labour Party, they're all riled up. Peter Obi won, yeah. But the master planners are okay. I'm going to get this state, I'm going to get that state, guaranteed. So forget Lagos. Who needs Lagos? Yeah.
He was only calm because he knew all the dubious things he had done.
Exactly. That's my point.
That's the only reason he's calm.
Exactly.
So if Peter Obi starts playing the politics game, how are we sure that when he gets there, he's able to? Because he would have committed himself to certain things.
Oh my God. You are making a very good point. But finish. That's exactly my point. Like, no politician is pure. That's just the end of it.
By the time he gets to that position, or by the time he knows how to play the game, it's going to be Tinubu 3.0, but Peter will be ruling.
Yes, you would have been compromised. You have to get in bed with some people. To eat with the devil, you need a long spoon. You just can't. You just can't be like ruling Nigeria. There are some things you have to do.
We don't have.
And he'll be answerable to those godfathers.
And he has to be answering to them. There you go. Now you get it. Now you get it.
I think that we just need to pull a Ghana Rollins move on our politicians. That's what we need to do.
Honestly.
Not in a democratic setting. You can't do that as democracy. Maybe you could do that.
Is this democracy?
They are not allowing us. They are not allowing democracy in Nigeria. So why should we allow
This
democracy?
is not democracy. This is by fire, by force. This is even the emir of Qatar, who is the emir, who is the sheikh, allows his people to have an opinion. But in Nigeria, you cannot do anything. Oh no!
You are even talking of emir. Even God has given us the chance, the opportunity
free will.
to choose free will.
Yeah, free will.
But Tinubu is taking it away from us.
With Tinubu, there is no free will. It's Tinubu's way or the highway.
No, there's free will. I mean, I won't subscribe to that. I think there's free will. There's free will. There's free will. I mean, there's free will. You get to vote. I mean, you voted. Tinubu was not on the streets. You see Tinubu at the...
Brother Mike, I like that you're trying to be objective.
I'm just telling you. Even Obama gone safe that they are saying Obama this. I was here in Obama hope and change. After he left, Trump came after him. So yeah, I mean, it's just the thing is that people.
Bata, bata, box.